Mason Nation, I'm Doc Nix, and I'm honored to kick off the 2020 Celebration of Distinction tonight. Although we can't be together in person, we're still going to have a great time celebrating Mason's distinguished alumni. The Green Machine distinguishes itself from other university pep bands in many ways: our musical choices, our performance styles, and all the instruments that we include. Yes, we are a basketball pep band, but we're also a drumline. We're also a fife and drum corps, various styles of brass band, so many other things. I'm excited to share some of our great performances with you to start tonight's program. So sit back and enjoy, and make sure you stick around to the end, because we'll be back. Go Mason!
Presenting the 2019 WGI Sport of the Arts Independent Open Class Champion, George Mason University.
Hello, the George Mason University Alumni Association is pleased to welcome you to the 2020 Celebration of Distinction.
For over 30 years, the Alumni Association has hosted this event, the only university-wide celebration of Mason alumni,
to applaud our alumni's achievements and service to their alma mater and their community.
Tonight's distinguished awardees represent a variety of industries ranging from education,
information technology,
to advocacy and public service.
But they all showcase the qualities that we value in our community.
innovation,
leadership,
service,
and a commitment to excellence.
We are excited to honor them and their accomplishments.
Congratulations to all of tonight's awardees.
You make Mason proud.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Enjoy the program and go Mason.
Go Mason.
and go Mason.
go Mason.
and go Mason.
Hi Mason Nation, I'm Sumit Shrivastava, your Alumni Association President, and I have the honor of being your MC for this year's Celebration of Distinction. Before we start our program, I'd like to thank the musicians, Doc Nix and the Green Machine. The Green Machine is a great example of what you can do when you combine the talents of our students from multiple disciplines and community members. Thank you, Green Machine, for showing your amazing Mason spirit everywhere you go. I'm so happy to have a chance to recognize our distinguished alumni tonight. For over 30 years, the Alumni Association has recognized our alums at our annual Celebration of Distinction event. Originally held in 1975, the program has progressed from a reception honoring 4 alumni to being the premier event of the Alumni Association each year. As you heard from our board, these alums showcase the qualities we value in our community: innovation, leadership, service, and a commitment to excellence. While this event would normally be held in person, 2020 had other plans, but that's okay. We're Mason and we're innovative. We see this as an opportunity to bring Mason to you. With that being said, welcome to our Arlington campus, home of the Schar School of Policy and Government, the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter School for Peace and Conflict Resolution, the Antonin Scalia Law School, and of course the newly formed Institute for Digital Innovation and School of Computing. Mason attracts world-class faculty who enrich the lives of our students and share their real-world expertise. Here to present the Faculty of the Year Award is Christine Landahl, President-elect of the Alumni Association and a professor in the School of Business.
Good evening, Mason Nation. I'm Christine Landahl, and I'm here to present the Faculty of the Year Award to Dr. Jeff Offit. Dr. Offit leads our MS in Software Engineering in the Volgino School of Engineering at Mason. He teaches software engineering classes at multiple levels, and he has developed several new courses, and I'm going to read them from the list because there's a lot, in subjects such as web engineering, software testing, construction, design, usability, experimentation, and analysis. Congratulations on Faculty of the Year, Jeff.
When I got word of this award, I was surprised. I was just incredibly honored, especially during the pandemic when every teacher everywhere is trying to figure out how to teach online. I just felt like everybody deserved an award. It was almost embarrassing, really. I view my job as having a long-term impact on people's careers. And really, I can't think of a better affirmation or stronger motivation for what I do than being remembered positively from our alum. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Let me give you a little story. Several years ago, I was at graduation and a young woman came up and thanked me, and I realized somebody was tugging on my robe down below, and this little girl was down there and she said, "My mommy gadgetated." And I don't know what that little girl is going to do in the future, but I know she is going to gadgetate. And that's why we do this.
Good evening, Mason Nation. My name is Ray Watring, and I am the Vice President of the Alumni Association's Play Committee. In addition to the Alumni Association, each school, college, and affinity chapters will be honoring distinguished alum of theirs tonight. George Mason University obviously means a lot to the Watring family. In fact, in this spot more than 40 years ago, my father used to wait for my grandmother to finish her classes to get his weekly spending money. Waiting in this spot was how my parents met 40 plus years ago. George Mason University means a ton to this family. We asked our distinguished alumni what Mason meant to them, and here are their answers.
What does Mason mean to me?
Mason is a critical defining moment in my life.
It's where I learned about my trade, going through my 2 degrees that I received from Mason. It prepared me for my professional career.
I'm very proud to be a member of the Mason family, and I had the opportunity to meet some wonderful colleagues and my cohort, and more importantly, some outstanding scholars.
The George Mason represents that bridge from pre-professional life of being a new nurse and bridging myself to a professional career that would launch me where I am today.
Had I not decided to attend George Mason University, I wouldn't have forged the relationships that I was able to forge, received the top-notch education that I received, which then led me down my path to ultimately my career and my family.
The approaches, the techniques that Tojo Thatchin Carey, Ann Baker, and Mark Adelson gave to me enabled me to help survivors of human trafficking see themselves differently and therefore to create different futures for themselves.
When I graduated from nursing school in Texas and moved up to Washington, D.C. to work at NIH, I knew I wanted to pursue a graduate degree in public policy. The question was, among the incredible schools in the area, which one would be best? For me, the answer was clear.
When I think about the diversity of the students, and I love walking the campus of George Mason University, you see everyone. You see all races. You see all genders. You see different backgrounds. You see much more expansion past just the local footprint that used to be here. So to me, it's a treasure.
Mason helped me become who I am, and it's a great part of who I am.
Well, one of the best decisions that I could have ever made as a teenager that formed the rest of my life.
Hi Mason Nation, I'm Alicia Burnett and I'm here to present the Senior of the Year Award. This year's Senior of the Year Award is presented to Jessie McCandlish. In addition to her own studies for 4 years, Jessie has been a dedicated academic mentor and student leader for the Early Identification Program, providing assistance in math and science and mentoring area high school students seeking to be the first in their families to attend college. Through her example and her undergraduate accomplishments, Jessie exemplifies the Mason spirit of excellence, integrity, and service. Congratulations, Jessie.
Welcome to the Fairfax campus, home of Fenwick Library, the Johnson Center, Mason's 4 original buildings, North, now Findlay, South, now Krug, East and West, and of course, much, much more. It's also home for the Center for the Arts, where the students from our School of Dance perform. In 2007, Karen Reedy was the College of Visual and Performing Arts Thomas W. Izzard's III Distinguished Alumni recipient. She is now the School of Dance's director. Here to introduce our featured performance, please welcome Karen Reedy.
It is my honor to be here with you to showcase our School of Dance. Our students come from around the country to attend Mason and are some of the most talented in the world. In May, some of our dancers created original choreographic works that reflected how they were handling life during the pandemic. Please enjoy this medley of performances by juniors Sophia Munson, Nia Davis, and Caleb Manser.
Thank you, students, for that wonderful performance. Sometimes in the middle of celebration, there is also sadness. I'd like you to join me in a moment of silence to honor two of our former Alumni Association board members who we lost too early. Harry Hink was a 1985 graduate of the College of Education and Human Development and served on our board from 2018 to 2019. Tony DeGregorio was a 1984 and 1989 graduate of the College of Education and Human Development, and he served on our board from 2015 to 2019. Tony is also this year's 2020 Distinguished Alumnus recipient for CEHD. We're forever grateful to them for their leadership and service and offer our heartfelt condolences to their family and friends. I'd like to now introduce Jen Shelton, immediate past president of the Alumni Association and my mentor in all things alumni, to recognize the Alumni Association scholarship winners.
Aloha, Mason Nation. I'm pleased to be with you here tonight and to have served as your president. Scholarships change lives and make a big difference in our students' ability to make higher education from a dream to a reality. This year, the Alumni Association awards 6 scholarship recipients, and they are the Peter C. Ferrami Student Leadership Scholarship recipient is Natalia Canos. The George Mason Alumni Association Service Scholarship recipient is Brenda Henriquez. The Black Scholars Endowed Scholarship recipient is Brianna Sharp. The John C. and Louise P. Wood Undergraduate Scholarship is Cody Gula. The Wood Graduate Scholarship recipient is Jacqueline Davis. The Alumni Association's 50th Anniversary Scholarship recipient is Sahar Rizwan. Congratulations to all of you. We asked our scholarship recipients how Mason has changed their lives, and this is what they had to say.
I think my journey at Mason actually starts a long time ago, even before I was born, because my mom worked at George Mason in the Johnson Center.
when I was first approached to talk about what Mason means to me, it was kind of an overwhelming question because Mason has impacted me in so many ways.
I think there's a lot of different ways. It's really difficult for me to summarize.
I felt like Mason really pushed being active and involved on campus, which helped me grow as a person.
Once I was born, she brought me to Mason and we would feed bread to the geese. And it was really fun. I would stay in the Johnson Center, I would sit there, I would talk to her coworkers, and it was always a place that I thought of as home.
Mason has given me a lot of really great opportunities. I actually started out as an undergraduate at Mason in the honors program, and there were a lot of really great professors there who taught me how to communicate my ideas through writing, and there were a lot of really great study abroad opportunities as well. I was able to study abroad in Paris and study like the French Revolution.
Mason has helped me focus on my education and given me the opportunity to learn from one of the best professors in the world, amazing faculty that really care about the students and really want to see each individual succeed.
George Mason University is really good at not only financially supporting, but also, giving moral and emotional support. So, I can have the money one semester, but if I don't have the motivation, if I don't feel like I'm able to continue just due to, stress, I know I have so many people that are willing to talk to me that I can go to, and that will give me the encouragement and the proper mindset that I need to go forward. And that has happened to me many times. So I'm really, really thankful for that.
And then later on in high school, I would visit Mason for their events. And one of the most impactful events was the drag show they had. But I was consumed by the energy, and it was such an empowering, inclusive environment, and I knew that Mason was for me. And then I actually used that moment and event to write my application for the Student Transition Empowerment Program.
So I felt like really moved and inspired to just try everything I wanted to try in high school here. So I joined Mason Cable Network, and I've been with Mason Cable Network since my freshman year. I am currently, as a senior, the creative director for a talk show called The Spill, which is a Mason talk show that is mostly people of color that focuses on pop culture, social justice rights, and all things like that.
And also as a tutor, I work with a lot of K through 12 kids in Fairfax County, and the Potomac Science Center has a great student outreach program to get kids excited about science. So it's fun to see how we're training the future generations, and to see Mason's connection with the greater community of Fairfax County.
Even doing this, I never thought I would have the opportunity to speak and voice out my opinions and even talk about myself. I was always an introverted person, but Mason has given me the opportunity to develop as a person, grow, believe in myself, have confidence, know that my thoughts are worth expressing, and that my views are important to share.
In the honors college, I was pushed to think more critically, and it was the first time, my freshman year, I finally learned how to write creatively, and I found out that I was really good at it, and it actually benefited me a lot. And my application for GW for the early selection program for medical school, and then also for applying to the alumni scholarship and a lot of other scholarships.
And I feel like if I was never inspired or pushed to do, these organizations and be active, I would not be in the position I am now. I have made multiple friends, multiple connections. I got offered an internship for the U.S. House of Representatives due to how active I am and my connections through the Black Alumni Chapter. So I feel like Mason's changed my life completely.
I've had a lot of really great opportunities. Mason is a really important part of my life. My brother and my sister went to Mason, so our whole family is kind of involved with Mason. My brother is currently a master's student in the School of Music. So, Mason has changed my life in so many ways, not just in my own intellectual curiosities, but going to Center of the Arts and seeing these really great performances. So it is a really integral part of my life, and I wouldn't be who I am today without George Mason.
It's really helped by breaking me out of my shell and letting me know that you're an important individual. You have thoughts, you have opinions. You can share those, and those are okay. You can criticize the system, you can speak out. As I mentioned, being in Nigeria, I was kind of always taught as a woman, the cultural norms is, oh, don't really say that, don't really do this, keep your views to yourself, you're younger, you're a woman. But coming to Mason and being on campus and seeing how people advocate for things they believe in has helped me find my voice in a way that I never thought possible. I always go back home and I guess I always press people's buttons because Mason has helped me find my voice, and that's a really powerful thing.
And also, one last thing, I think my major is really important. I love computer science. I never thought I would be majoring in it. And I feel really empowered that I'm in computer science right now, and I really like it. And that's all.
Hello, Mason Nation. My name is Trishana Bowden, and I proudly serve as your Vice President of Advancement and Alumni Relations. Congratulations to all of our students receiving scholarships. One of the things that I am most proud of that my team does is raise scholarship dollars for deserving students. In my career, I've had the pleasure of seeing how time and time again, scholarships truly change lives. They provide opportunities and access to education. In the words of George Washington Carver, education is the key to unlock the golden door of freedom. And freedom is critical during this time. We are all facing challenges today that will continue to impact us tomorrow, and our students are not exempt from those challenges. In fact, I know some, too many actually, who have personally had their lives turned upside down in 2020. If we are able to provide, through philanthropy, a sense of financial relief for them and also recognize their fantastic talents, then we help to provide them the opportunity of education. Because our students are our future leaders, our thinkers, and our doers, they will be the change makers who will rise and continue to make us proud. Mason students graduate and go on to be leaders in their professions. They also recognize the value of service, be it to their community or their alma mater. Here to present the Alumni Service Award, please welcome Yoshi Davison.
The Alumni Service Award recognizes an alum who has provided outstanding service to the university and community. This year's recipients, Robert Harris and Alana Shapiro, are alumni of the Jimmy and Rosalind Carter School of Peace and Conflict Resolution, formerly the School for Conflict Analysis and Resolution. Robert is an expert conflict management professional with more than 25 years experience designing and implementing organizational change and employee engagement initiatives. And Alana is a conflict resolution consultant with research on comparative assessments of conflict intervention processes, capacity building for organizational effectiveness, and issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. Please join me in congratulating Robert and Ilana.
Thank you so very much. We're humbled to receive this amazing award for doing what comes naturally to us, which is to provide help and assistance to others at George Mason University as a way of giving back for all of the help and assistance we receive from the incredible and dedicated faculty, staff, and students at what was once known as the Institute for Conflict Analysis and Resolution, now known as the Carter School.
Over the years, we have been very happy to have taught courses, mentored students, donated funds, set up a scholarship fund, volunteered on committees and projects, donated more funding, provided counsel and advice when requested and sometimes when not, provided even more funding, and served as enthusiastic cheerleaders for the preeminent school in the world that teaches and practices the nonviolent resolution of conflict.
What an incredible education and area of study. The world and the United States in particular need more peacemakers and peace builders. Thank you again for this incredible award. We look forward to continuing to support George Mason University in the future. Thank you.
Congratulations, Robert and Ilana. Well, Mason Nation, we're now at the SciTech campus in Manassas, home of the Katherine G. Johnson Hall, the Virginia Serious Gaming Institute, the Institute for Biohealth Innovation, and the Hilton Performing Arts Center. and of course, many more university departments, centers, and institutes. Will you now join me in welcoming David Atkins, your Alumni Association Treasurer?
Hi, Mason Nation. I am David Atkins. The celebration of distinction is one of my favorite events because we have the chance to honor so many alums. In my more than 25 years at Mason, I've enjoyed seeing our students learn, experience new things, and become distinguished alumni. A Mason education lays the foundation for all of this. As I reflect on my time as a student, I think I would tell my younger self to start planning financial wealth as a student, invest in the stock market, or start a new business. Connect and engage with invested faculty, staff, and administrators, and challenge yourself and operate outside of your comfort zone, like take more risk earlier in life. We asked our awardees what they would say to our current students, and here is their advice.
Having come from there quite a few years ago, I would recommend that the main thing they do right now is study, study, study.
Be assured that you made the right decision.
Enjoy it and never stop learning.
Take classes that are outside your major.
So I challenge each student to really embrace it, to learn, to listen, improve your network, try new things, figure out what's really good for you, figure out what you love to do, capture that, and really embrace each and every moment that you have at George Mason.
Be an adventurer and take advantage of all the things that Mason has to offer. I was and still am a jock, but I loved going to the Center for the Arts, and I attended the Bolshoi Ballet, and I saw many famous speakers and poets and plays. So do things that may not feel like they're what you're used to.
I would like to say is, and I tell this to almost everybody that I've hired in recent years, don't spend all your time on the job. I don't want somebody working for me in a legal position that's all they do is work, because they're not going to have the right perspective.
Take advantage of the faculty. Not only are you paying for an education, you're paying for those connections and the people that have incredible expertise there at George Mason.
I was probably one of the oldest people in my cohort, but one thing I was taught by my family, my mom in particular, is that life's a journey that you always learn from. And George Mason gave me some insight in the profession of policing criminal justice. And although I've been doing it for a long time, I hadn't thought about it that way. So keep learning.
And then come out and join us and have a phenomenal impact on the world.
Hello, Mason Nation. I am so honored to be here with you and share in our collective patriot pride. There are so many things to be proud of when it comes to our great university, and I have so many great memories from my time at Mason. My favorite Mason memory is gathering with friends, especially when it was sunny out, at the Rat to decompress from classes and especially exams. Let's watch as some of our awardees share their favorite Mason memories.
Most of my favorite Mason memories came long after I graduated. I was asked a number of years ago to be a member of the Board of Visitors by then Governor Payne. And I hadn't even thought about my experience with Mason for many, many years. I really didn't know where Mason had evolved or where it was engaged and connected to the community.
How could I forget is when I was defending my PhD dissertation at the end of my program, and I was in a room full of very intelligent senior faculty, and I presented my case, and then they asked me to walk out and wait outside before they made a decision.
And I almost don't even want to say this, but I guess it was a memory that's been seared in my brain.
Those 20-30 minutes in the hallway felt like 20-30 hours until finally the representative of the committee walked out and gave me thumbs up. That moment with a thumbs up is something I'll never forget.
Because after my first torts exam, I had a meeting with the professor, and we went over. I was challenging my grade, which was an F, and we went over the exam, and fortunately, he found out that he had forgotten to grade one question, and that raised my grade from an F to a D.
He walked out and he did this, and he walked right back in. That's all I got.
And he told me and counseled me at the time that he thought that it would be in my best interest to seek a different career other than the law.
One of the great things about the Carter School was its emphasis on doing internships, doing sort of independent projects. I spun that into spending a chunk of time at the University Science Malaysia in Penang, Malaysia, and also at the European Studies Center for Peace and Conflict Resolution in near the former Yugoslavia in Austria.
Colleen, I think you have another memory you want to share about your law school and our son.
Oh, I guess that is probably worthwhile.
Yes.
Is that I took the bar exam the day before I gave birth to my third child, our third son. So
I went to a program where I didn't just study conflict, I went to the front lines of wars. You know, so like I really did, you know, like there was the room, the space in that program to actually do what it was we were supposed to be doing.
I was driving back from Roanoke, and she was complaining about my driving, and we went to get something to eat. Let's just say it didn't stay down, and then we figured she was in labor. So she was in labor in the car driving back, and we went straight to the hospital, and she had Philip a day later. So that was a memorable
I didn't know whether
experience.
to pass the bar, but I knew I had at least passed the birth part. So luckily I passed the bar as well.
Being exposed to those conflicts in South and Southeast Asia and Central Europe were probably the best memories that I had of Mason. Were actually not at Mason, but because of Mason.
This is a university that continues to move forward, that continues to identify opportunities to bring education at the intersection of industry for students. And I can say that because I'm on the Dean's Council for the School of Business, where in the past 5 or 6 years, maybe a little longer, the alumna in particular have represented the industry's needs for talent. So I would say that it's been my experience post college days that has been the most meaningful and presented the strongest memories for me.
It's now time to honor our Alumnus of the Year. From the classroom to the boardroom, our alumni are doing great things and leading the way in their professions and communities. Before we recognize this year's honoree, I'd like to introduce Mason's 8th president, Dr. Gregory Washington, to offer congratulatory remarks.
Thank you, Sumit. It is my privilege to be here with you to celebrate our distinguished alumni. I continue to be impressed by how accomplished our alumni are. Mason Nation, I want you to know how incredibly proud I am to be the president of this great university. You are so important to Mason's past, present, and future. Mason graduates make such an impact on the world, and we want to continue to be the university for everyone. Higher education changes lives, and that education doesn't stop with your degree. We want you to come back and help change the lives of our current students who are our future alumni. And we want you to do that in a way that's meaningful to you. Maybe it's through mentoring or volunteering in the classroom. Perhaps you hire a patriot or provide an internship. However you want to support your alma mater, we are here to help you do so. I want to congratulate all of our 2020 Distinguished Alumni and Alumni Association honorees, and I look forward to celebrating with you, hopefully in person, again in 2021. Go Mason and go Patriots.
Thank you, Dr. Washington. We're excited to partner with you to advance our great university. It is my honor to recognize this year's Alumnus of the Year as Dr. Steve Monfort. Dr. Monfort received his PhD in Environmental Biology and Public Policy from Mason in 1993. He is the John and Adrian Mars Director of the Smithsonian's National Zoo and Conservation Biology Institute, where he oversees over 2,000 animals representing over 400 species. In 2010, Dr. Monfort was also the College of Sciences Distinguished Alum. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Steve Monfort as the 2020 Alumnus of the Year.
Hello. I'm so honored and proud to receive the Alumni of the Year award from George Mason University. My time there was very special for me. From my fellow students to my professors to the mentors that I had there, they all worked to provide me with the launching pad I needed to be able to pursue my career and my dream of using science to help save species from extinction. In the years since I graduated with my doctorate, I've had the real privilege of working with some great colleagues from Mason, and we developed together the Smithsonian Mason School of Conservation based at our campus out in Front Royal, Virginia. And there we focus on innovation and problem-solving skills development in young people, the next generation, the skills needed to help solve some of the most pressing problems that nature faces. The entrepreneurial spirit represented by Alan Merton and Peter Stearns made that possible, and I'm so grateful to them and all of the support they provided. So thank you again for this fantastic honor. I'm so proud to receive it, and I want to say thanks to the entire Mason family. Thank you.
What a great time we've had tonight, celebrating our alumni and showcasing our Fairfax, Arlington, and SciTech campuses. I encourage each of you to consider how you'd like to engage with your alumni association. For now, attend a virtual event, and when it's safe, one in person. Come back to campus for a tour, an art event, or a game. Visit our resource page, Patriots Helping Patriots, where you can learn more about many different Mason resources available to you and your family, or even register your business in our alumni-owned business directory. I want to thank you again for joining us tonight, and congratulations to all our 2020 Distinguished Alumni and Alumni Association winners. Let's take a minute to recognize them one more time. Now please welcome back Doc Nix and the Green Machine as they close out our program with the Mason Fight Song.